healthcare if you are on a visiting visa in Canada. Hi everybody, welcome to the channel. Oh my gosh. Now, life experiences gives us topics and things to talk about. And for me, there's something that just recently happened. And I thought maybe sharing with somebody out there would benefit them for, just sharing information based on my personal experience. And in this channel, as I've told you, most of the time I talk about things that I've had experiences with. And sometimes, sorry, it's my iPad. I talk about things that I've had experiences with, challenges that I've faced, and I share them so that anybody who is in a similar situation as I am could benefit and could maybe learn from my mistakes or from things that I didn't know that now I do know. So today we're going to be talking about healthcare if you are on a visiting visa in Canada. Tourists or visitors are not covered by the Provincial Medical Service, also known as MSP, here in British Columbia, Canada. I believe this is the same for other provinces, that tourists and visitors are not covered. Covered, I mean they do not have medical health insurance. So for your information, if you're coming to Canada as a visitor, you're not covered. You're not covered. If you get sick, which you never know when you'll get sick, you're not covered by the provincial medical health care in all the provinces in Canada. So if you're sick, that means you will have to pay for each and every medical care that you receive here in Canada. Now, I had a little bit of experience, which is why I'm sharing this with you for people who are planning to come to Canada as visitors. Getting sick is not something that anybody predicts. Anybody can get sick anytime. And when you get sick, you just need help. They will not turn you away. They cannot turn you away. According to human rights and all those blah, 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 they will not turn you away. You will go, but the bill will be billing, my friend. Don't joke. So as you all know, my mom is visiting here from Kenya, and she's been here for a minute, and we had some emergency, and I'm not gonna talk about that. I'm just gonna talk about the fact that she's on visiting visa and she's not covered. So what does that mean? And anybody who will be coming to Canada as a visitor, you need to know this information. So in British Columbia, which is the province we live in Canada, for you to go to an emergency room, an emergency room is the ER, right? So if you have an emergency, you're rushed to an emergency room. So if you call an ambulance, there's money for the ambulance. So you're billed for that. I don't know how much it is. Once you get to the emergency room, so if you go by ambulance, that's a charge. If you take your loved one privately, like you rent a taxi or you drive them to the emergency room, you pay in BC and specifically in the island, you pay about $990. Is it? I think so. 900. I have that paper. Let me find it so I can give you accurate information. Okay, let me put you guys there so you're close to me. Okay, so this is the envelope that I got from the medical facility that we went to. I am a permanent resident, and so I am covered with MSP, so I don't need to pay So that goes for all permanent residents, that goes for workers. Students pay per month for their medical coverage, so they're covered, but they pay for it every month. But for tourists, visitors, this video is for you. So I got to the emergency room and I got this sheet. It actually outlines the charges that you will be paying from your pocket if you're a non-resident of Canada. So this is non-resident of Canada rates, and it does not include everything. It's just like an overview of like what you're gonna be paying. So for emergency treatment room, you pay 990 Canadian dollars. That is without tax. For emergency room physician, where applicable, you pay another $330. Now, of course, you're going to go to an emergency room, and of course, you're going to be seen by a physician. So if you go to an emergency room without tests, nothing, you just talk to a physician, you pay 990 plus $330, and that is $1,320 if I'm not wrong. And that does not include any ambulance fee. So if you go to the hospital, if you are taken to the hospital with an ambulance, that is an extra charge that will be added to these $1,320. Okay? Whew. That's already a lot. So that you have not been treated yet. You've just gone to the hospital and you've talked to a physician. Period. You're paying $1,320. There are diagnostic tests that you also pay for. So those ones, there's no figure. I'm gonna record this and put it on the screen somewhere. For diagnostic testing, there's no figures on this sheet, but of course the hospital knows they will bill you extra or in addition to the 1,320. There's tests for x-rays, lab tests. Yeah, so that one you're also going to be charged per visit. Everything is per visit. So it's not like you're paying 900 for 900 plus 330 and then that's it, you can visit anytime. No, that's per visit. So if you go today, you will pay the 1,320 plus extra charges, which is ambulance charges if you go to the hospital using an ambulance, plus diagnostic testing charges if you are tested for anything. That means x-ray, blood test, heart rate test and all that. Those you're charged extra per visit. Okay? All right. So there are additional charges. So if you are tested and medications have been given, again, medications will be charged according to the price of that medication, because they did not give a figure here. They just said at current cost per item, because medications come in different pricing, right? So you cannot just give a figure there. So if you're given medication, depending on the number of medication, depending on what medication it is, you will be billed as per the current figure of or cost of that medication and how much you are given. So that is outpatient. That is the work, like you go to an emergency room, you are assessed, tested, given medication, go back home. There's inpatient charges. The one that you go and you're admitted to the hospital if it is serious, so there's a standard ward medical stay. Per day, you're paying 4,585 Canadian dollars. 4,000 per day. I haven't wrapped my head around that. But if you're admitted to a hospital here in BC, specifically in the island, you pay almost $5,000 per day. That's almost 500,000 Kenya shillings for a standard ward. If you go to an ICU, critical care unit, cardiac care, neuro, or spine, Lord have mercy, you're paying 12,825 per day. 12,000, that's 1.2 million per day. Okay, so if you go to intensive care, sorry, that was critical care. For intensive care unit ICU, you pay the same, that is 12,825 per day. Operating room, first 2 hours, you're paying 2,960 for the first 2 hours. Each additional hour, you pay 1,500. So if you had to be operated on, other than the emergency treatment room and all that, and also, of course, you're going to pay for an inpatient, because, I don't know, depending on the operation, the first 2 hours, you pay 2,900, almost $3,000. Each additional hour, you're paying 1,500. Inpatient doctor visits, 330. So if you're admitted and then a doctor comes to see you every now and then, check on you and like just review how you're doing and all that, you're going to be paying 330. So hospital stay is different from doctor visit, different from the medicine that you're given, different from diagnostic testing, because those you're still going to have to pay per test, per medication cost, per doctor visit. You're still going to pay that. So, okay, maternity, right? So if you visit Canada, you're in Canada on a visitor's visa and you want to use maternity services, maybe you're pregnant. Natural birth deposit, you're paying 25,000. That is the deposit. Cesarean deposit, you're paying 35,000. Surrogate birth deposit, you're paying 10,000. Okay, so for newborn, natural birth room, you're paying 2,625. For cesarean room, you're paying 4,375. For newborn ward charge, it's 2,375. Newborn special care nursery, you're paying 12,825 per day. Those are per day. Okay. Outpatient daycare. So this is for surgery. So if you're going for any surgical processes, these are the amounts you're going to pay. So when you go to ambulatory stroke outpatient clinic, you're paying 990 per visit. For low-level procedures, maybe you fell and you need some surgical procedure done, you're paying 3,950 per visit. Medium-level procedures, you're paying 4,860 per visit. High-level procedures, you're paying 14,945 per visit. Hemodialysis, you're paying 1,540 per visit. So there are services that are costing way more than others, and they've listed them here. So high cost services, and these are not included in the services that I have mentioned before. So the first one is CT scan. For a CT scan, you're paying 2,165 for each body area. So just get to know that if you need a CT scan, if you have a procedure or you have a disease that needs a CT scan to be done, just know you're going to be paying your whole year salary, because that's my whole year salary on just a CT scan. And this is not part of all the charges that I've mentioned above. You will still have to pay for a doctor's visit. You're still gonna pay for emergency room if you're going to the emergency room. You're still gonna pay for a ward per day if you're going to be admitted and they need a CT scan. And then magnetic resonance imaging, that is MRI, you're gonna be paying 2,390 for each body area. So if you have multiple areas that you need that to be done, you're going to be paying 2,390 for each. High cost drugs, again, they're saying the current cost per drug. High cost implants, like a pacemaker, again, the current cost per item, because they can't say the amount, because the market market prices changes for each drugs and implants and procedures. High cost procedure, which is a cardiac surgery, again, current cost per procedure. So you guys, those are the current charges in British Columbia. This one I was given at the hospital. I didn't even Google this because, as I told you, I had to take my mom, and it's expensive. So why am I doing this video? You see, I wasn't aware. I didn't know that it's this expensive. I knew it's expensive, but I didn't know it's this expensive. Why? Because as a person living in Canada, and I'm a permanent resident, I don't have to pay those fees. The government pays for Canadian residents. And so I have never really been curious to know how much a visitor would pay. And now that I had my mom here and we had an emergency, that's how I got to know. So I'm sharing this video with anybody who is planning to invite their parents, their relatives, their friends to Canada, that this is the amount that you will be paid roughly for going to the hospital in case you have an emergency, a medical emergency. This is expensive. In one day, you can spend 10,000 easily. Okay, so let me give you an example. So in a day where you have a medical emergency, you have to pay the 1,320. And then let's say you need a CT scan for maybe 2 body parts. That's already $4,000 plus the 1,320. That's already $5,000. That's $500,000 Kenya shillings. And then let's say you need surgery, or let's say you have a medical emergency where they have to admit you, right? They have to admit you because they can't just let you go. You're going to be paying 10,000 per day. Plus the 5,000, that's 15,000. You can easily pay millions of dollars in just one day or one night at the hospital. So guys, just be aware that if you're coming to Canada as a visitor, you have to check for that. Be aware, because nobody decides to be sick. Nobody wants to be sick, and you never know when you're gonna be sick, and we all need help. One thing I love about Canadian hospitals and healthcare is they will never turn you away. Whether you don't have money or you do, they will never turn you away. They will treat you and send you back home. But the bills that will be mailed to you after, Lord. The other thing is there's a payment plan, I think. But those bills, maybe you will work for the rest of your life, or maybe 10 years or even more trying to pay those bills. So like, what's the way forward? Because like, there's no point of me sharing this information with you and not giving you like a way forward, or like what you can do as a visitor coming to Canada to like help yourself in case you fall ill. So one thing that you can do is get a medical insurance. A lot of people are advised to get travel insurance, and don't get those fake one that you use to like prove to the immigration officers that you need that you have a travel insurance. Take one that is legitimate, and they will cover you in case you're actually sick. Okay, so get a medical cover. At first, I thought medical covers were expensive. They could charge you maybe $1,000, right? For maybe 6 months, because that's what they were charging me for my mom. But that would go a long way. That goes a long way, and it covers like emergency cases. It does not, that alone does not cover like everything, like long term, illnesses, but for emergency cases at least you're covered. So get an insurance, and let them know that you're coming to Canada, so that they are prepared and they're aware that you're here. In any case, you can always claim. The other thing is, probably you need to prepare to pay the bill and submit a claim from your insurance, because insurance may pay you, especially those that are abroad, like international insurances. You might have to pay here in Canada, and then you submit a claim, and then they will pay you later. So just have extra money somewhere, or like, I don't know, just be prepared that you might be charged, and then later on you can claim for the charges. Also, when you come to Canada, there are private insurances here in Canada that offer insurance coverage for different people. So you can also check around and talk to different private insurance company that offer insurance coverage for visitors in Canada. Talk to them before you come. Don't come and wait 3 months into your stay and you're like, you want an insurance cover, because these insurance companies here are also in business. And so when they see there's a potential risk of losing the money, or you using that coverage, they might not allow you. For instance, I think the cover that I was supposed to take for my mom, I was to take it within 30 days of her being here. After that, I'm not eligible. So some insurance companies states clearly that it has to be before she arrives, or 30 days within her arrival. Otherwise, she's not eligible. So you have to check with the insurance company when you are eligible and when you can take up an insurance cover or pay for an insurance cover, so that you're not here 3 months in and you need an insurance cover and they can't offer that to you, right? Because of course, when 3 months later, like, why are you asking for an insurance cover now? Like, are you foreseeing some emergency? And then that will be like a red flag for them, and like, nobody likes spending the money. Like, insurance companies, they would rather not spend the money. But yeah, you can reach out to private insurance companies here in Canada, and they can sort you out with that. So let me know if you've reached to this point. Thank you so much for watching. Please give this a video a thumbs up, and remember to subscribe, please, and share your comments, your experiences in the comment section, because I would really love to learn from you guys as well, who have gone through a similar situation. Also, if you want me to do a video of possible private insurance companies here in Canada that you could possibly reach out to, maybe you're planning to bring your parent or your relative or anybody, or yourself, let me know also in the comment section, and I will do a comprehensive list of possible legitimate private insurance companies here in Canada that could help you with that. Anyways, you guys, I'm so excited that you watched this video and you stayed with me to this point. I'm really so grateful, and I don't take you for granted. Thank you so much, and stay creative. I will see you in the next video. Bye bye.